How many solutions are there to a given system of equations? There could be what?
Infinite many.
One. There could be infinitely many, and there could be
None.
none. No solution, right? So if you are putting down, there can be one solution, right? The one solution, that is going to be your ordered pair. There could be no solutions, no point of intersection, parallel lines, and there can be infinitely many, meaning every point is going to be a solution. When we look at that first one for the one solution, we are always going to leave our answer as x comma y. Okay, that's that point of intersection that we are talking about. Okay, so always three different possibilities. You're going to see this today on this activity that we are going to be doing. Okay, so the activity, it says you are going to get 6 different cards labeled C1 to C6, like these two below. First, you need to fill in each card. Each card contains a graph, a table, and an equation. One of those things is given to you, and you need to figure out the other two. So in this first card, C1, you're going to get, they give you the graph. So if we are going to fill in our table, when x is -2, go to your graph where x is -2, and let's put a point there. What is the y coordinate?
0.
0. So you're going to fill in the card. How do you know that? Because on this graph, you can see that at -2, it's at 0. So now you have to find -1 on your graph. So -1 for x takes us to this point, which if I am looking at that point, Timothy, we would say at -1, it needs to be at 2. I'm going to continue as I'm looking at this graph. As I look, Gunnar, and I put in x is 0, y is 4. So from this, can we write any equation? Our x is changing by how much? 1 each time, right? But our y is changing by 2. So remember, when you go to find slope, change in y over change in x. So when you're asked to write your equation is going to be in that form, y equals mx plus b. Okay? So you look at this equation, and our m is what number? 2. So we're going to have y equals 2x plus our y-intercept is when the 0, so when we are looking at that point at the 0 and 4, so our y-intercept is going to be 4. Okay? So you filled in all the card based on just the graph. This one, they gave you an equation. And you have to fill in both the table and the graph. Now, this equation, if you rewrite it in slope-intercept form, some of you are going to struggle doing that. So here's another way. You can always rewrite this, and there's going to be room on the back, and you can rewrite it, okay, getting the y by itself. So you could do that. But here's the other thing you can do. I want you to look at this equation and to the side in your notes. We're going to replace x with 0. If you replace in this equation, we're going to substitute in and put x is 0. We'd have 0 plus what? If I'm writing that kind, 0 plus 2y, right, equals 8. So the only thing we replaced was we didn't put the x of 0. Yep. But this first time they say x is 0. The next time we're going to replace it with 1. The next time. So we're substituting in. Can you solve for y now once we have this? Because this was x, right? Mm-hmm. So we now have the equation 2y equals 8. What do I have to do to solve that as I look at it, Maddie? Divide both sides by 2. And if I do that at 0, I get the point 4. Can I now put a point there on my graph? Because that's 0, 4, right? Now I can replace the 1. So if I replace the 1 in that equation, instead of putting x plus 2y equals 8, I'm going to put x is 1. And if I have 1 plus 2y equals 8, in order to solve that, Haley, what am I going to do? Solve for y. Not yet, because I don't have 2y by itself. I have 2y plus 1. I'm going to minus 1 first, right? So I minus 1, and I get 2y is equal to 7, and I want to solve that. And if I'm solving, Stephen, I'm going to divide both sides now by 2. And 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So can you put 3.5 here? Sure. at 1, it's at 3.5. How do you graph that? Halfway in between, right? So it says what you are going to, and then you're going to draw the line. You got to still do the 2, right? So it says what you're going to do after completing all 6 cards, you will go through and compare each of the cards to determine their solutions. If they are assistant, for example, I'm going to tell you to pair C1 with C2. And you're going to try and look at those 2 cards and you're going to try and see if there is a solution. If there's a solution and they intersect, you're going to tell me, oh, the solution, if they intersect once, that's going to be our x comma y. If they're parallel, you're going to tell me no solution. And if they are exactly the same, then you're going to put infinitely many. So this is what the card is going to look like, okay? You're going to get this sheet, and then you're going to get all these graphs, okay? So what I would like for you to do right now